forward onto all fours. Widening the finger pads, knees a little wider than you tend to take them. Inhale, dropping the belly and lifting the heart, stay here. So when we're working with any twisted shapes, the tendency is for the sacrum, the bone at the bottom of the spine, to get crooked. Push the earth away, round the upper back. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the eyes, flex the glutes, stick out the bottom, and round the spine. Keep going like this. So the first piece of a twist is to make sure the pelvis is symmetric. And how that's done is by sticking your bottom out so the twist isn't coming from the sacrum. And then making your way to a flat back position and striking back, down dog. Begin to paw the earth, dropping one heel, then the other. So within every twisted posture, we find the word vritti, and we found that word in the second sutra. So Parvrita Trikonasana, Parvrita Parsvottanasana. Stopping the movement in the dog, lift your heels, drop the heels over to the left, and accentuate the curve in the right side body. So a vritti is a revolution, a rotation. Pull those knees through center, drop the heels to the opposite side, side body long. Zipper those knees all the way through center and lift your right leg up. Step your right foot between your hands, kick out through the heel. Let's play with this. Stick your bum out like you're doing that cow pose, widen the thighs, and then anchor through the left palm and lift your right arm up. Use the bottom hand to leverage the top hand, but we're not taking it in our sacrum. Bring your hand to the earth. This time step forward with the left, step back with the right. Widen the sitting bones, stick out the bottom, and then anchor the right palm, lift the left arm up. Take your attention to your low belly, Nali Kriya, the low belly, so there's a deeper offering here. Bring your hands to the earth, take a big step to the top. Inhale, lengthen. Bow. Stand tall, reach high, look up. Release your arms. Surya Namaskara A, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha, drape the chest up. Adho Mukha, slide back, long lines. So Nali Kriya, we were just talking about that at the beginning of class. It's the hollowing back of the belly. It's the clearing out of the digestive tract. Hollow your belly, eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Stand tall, touch your ceiling. Release your arms. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold, the neck is soft. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, pounce back, low push-up. Drag your pelvis to your wrists. Slide back. So the tendency is for us to get wrapped up in these vrittis, meaning that we think we are the story. Yoga is about I amming. I am hungry, I am sad. But what yoga does is takes us one step further than that, where we don't identify with feelings and emotions. They pass through. Eyes forward, step walk, float to the top. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Stand tall, touch your ceiling. Release your arms. Close your eyes, last one, reach up. Fold in, the eyes are closed, go by feel, Helen Keller. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, float back. We're doing Braille, low push-up. Reading Braille, I don't know. Open the chest, lift the heart. Slide back, downward dog to land. So they say that when one of the five senses is taken away, a person has a heightened one of the fourth senses. So even though we still have the gift of eyesight, imagine that we didn't and we would have to go by feel, understanding the edges of our mats. We would have to go by feel, knowing the top and the bottom of our mats. Chin forward, step walk, float to the top. Inhale, lengthen, eyes closed. Exhale, fold, go by feel. Stand up, arms up. Release your arms, open your eyes. First time slow, bend into the knees, arms up. Fold in half, chest to thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, pounce back, low push up. Spinal extension, chin up. Slide back. Lift your right leg up. Step it between your hands for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Tent the right fingers. Catch your left hip. Some of you might reach your left arm up. So we won't be here for a tremendously long time, but get familiar. Get steady. Bring your fingertips to the earth, tap your your right heel with your left foot, and inflate, airplane, eyes down. So eventually we're going to do this in one breath, so get familiar, get steady, hands down, tap the heel, twisted half moon, left leg back, widen the seat, right hand to the sacrum or up toward the ceiling. Flex your foot, imagine there was a wall behind you. Hands down, this is either a standing split or the melisande, the handstand. For 2, 1, step walk, float back, lower. Drag your pelvis to your wrists, eyes up. Strike back. Lift your left leg up. Step it through. Half moon, come up, left hand to the hip or the sky. So the thing about these vrittis, these fluctuations, these stories, is that they take over. And they're not who we are. Just because it happened before doesn't mean it will happen again. Hands down, take your left foot, right foot, tap your left heel, airplane. Set your eyes on one particular spot. Next time this will be one breath. Eyes down, tap your heel, twisted half moon. Anchor through your right hand, left hand to the low back or up. Flex the foot in the sky, widen the hips. So regardless of a twist, the sacrum needs to stay sacred. Hands down, this is a standing split or a melisande, a handstand. 3, 2, 1, step walk, float back, lower. Drag it up, open your heart. Slide it back, downward dog, and halt. Lifting up through the kneecaps like you had the ability of Spider-Man to throw webs through the hands, throw webs down into your basement, into your neighbor's house. And then that subtle little Nali Kriya in the belly. Eyes forward like a jackrabbit, top of the mat. Lengthen. Bow. Sit on your throne, arms up. Stand tall, quicker, bend the knees, arms up. Fold in half, forehead to shins. Lengthen. Step walk, pounce back, lower. Urdhva Mukha, take it up. Adho Mukha, back. Right foot lifts. Step it. Half moon. Hands down, tap the heel. Airplane. Hands down, tap the heel. Twisted. Hands down, this is a standing split or a little pop to vinyasa back. Feet back, lower. Drag it up, wide open heart. Take it back. Left leg lifts. Step it through. Half moon. Hands down, tap the heel. Airplane. Hands down, tap the heel. Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana. Hands down, a standing split or a little kick up to vinyasa back, lower. Ride it up, lift the heart. Take it back. Long lines, specific lines. So that idea that esteem is confidence. Confidence is to confide in, and we only confide in someone we trust. Your yoga practice is developing self-trust, self-reliance, self-esteem. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit low, Utkatasana. Samastitihi, last one. Bend the knees, arms up. Bow in. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, fly back, lower. Urdhva Mukha, take it up. Adho Mukha, back. Right leg lifts. Step it through. Ardha Chandrasana. Hands down, tap the heel. Airplane. Hands down, tap the heel. Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana. Hands down, it's a step back or a handstand hop, low push-up. Big Urdhva takes you up. Adho back. Left leg lifts. Step it through. Ardha Chandrasana. Hands down, tap the heel. Inflate. Hands down, tap the heel. Twisted. Hands down, it's a handstand hop or a step back to lower. Drag your pelvis to your wrists. Slide back. Option 1, child's. Sit back, catch your breath, check in. Option 2, dolphin pose on the forearms. Option 3, float up. Tone the outer glutes. Reach up through the pinky toes. If you're upside down, sit back, balasana, child's for a moment. Come to the center of your center. So a story is concerned about the drama out there, and a yogi is concerned about the breath in here. Rise up, all fours, and down dog. Paw your hands back to your feet and bring your feet together at the back of the mat for Pashasana. Drop the knees forward and hook your left elbow over your right knee. So for some of you, you might bind around one knee joint, maybe two. But set the base, so stick out your bottom. Pull the lower abdomen back and then use the bottom arm to open the chest. Untangle the shape, do it on the opposite side. Snuggle in, hook your elbow. So we first see this pose in second series. Get your belly out of the way and then leverage the chest open. Untangle the shape, bring your feet hip distance apart. Catch your big toes, inhale, lengthen, Padangustasana, exhale, fold. So take your attention to your pelvis right now and your legs. So there's equal weight distribution, right? And that's easy because it's symmetric. But when the body is asymmetric, we still want the same expression in the pelvis. So let's take this into side crow, keeping in mind we want our pelvis symmetric and our heart symmetric. Inhale, lengthen. Release the toes, bring the feet together, knock the knees forward. Pivot them to face the left. So you might have to go out of alignment to go into alignment. Hook your left elbow on your knee. Plant your right palm, so symmetric. Imagine this is Bakasana. Lift it up, Bakasana. Stick your bum out to isolate the back so the sacrum stays level. 3, 2, 1. Release the feet, pivot yourself through center, snuggle in. So we want a symmetric heart and we want symmetric hips. Press down, lift up, widen the hips. 3, 2, stick your bum out. 1, release your feet, knees through center, thread your palms under your feet. Lift your heart, clear your belly, fold, drop it. Drop whatever you've been carrying that's heavy. Get really curious and edgy with your practice. Tip it forward so you just about fall. Inhale, lengthen. Paw yourself forward, downward dog. Lift your right leg up. Right knee to the right armpit, flex the foot, froggy it, and send it high. Cross it over, this time point it, touch your bicep, send it high, and then stomp it between the hands, drop your back knee. Reach your left arm up. So this is like a crunching action. Take your hand to the back of your head, shorten the distance on the right side of the body and hook your elbow. Some of you might open the arms, some of you might bind, and then once you set the arms, kick out through the back heel and then stick your bottom out to isolate the sacrum, the low back, and then clear the belly. Your drishti, your eyes, are the icing on your cake, your metaphorical yoga cake. Gluten-free, No animal products. Roll it open. So we have a vritti here, a fluctuation. So these poses are kind of wild. You'll notice newer students have difficulty staying in these. Eyes down, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, float open. This time, if you wish to take a bind, bind. So a vritti can be thought of like a Tasmanian devil, kind of destroying everything in its tracks. You know, when you've had kind of a day, a month, a year, an experience that kind of infiltrates every moment. And our yoga practice is to stop that, to choose to stop that. Untangle, super gently step open for Trikonasana. Slide the hip, take the shin, the ankle, the toe, the floor, left arm up. Get curious about the rotation of your right kneecap. So as we advance in our practices, we realize it's not just lines, it's actually spirals we're creating. Eyes down, a big inhale lifts you up for Prasarita A, pigeon toe the feet, catch the waist, look up. And exhale, fold, hands down. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold, crown of the head down. Some of you might want to float up, and I want to give the option to potentially take a side crow on your left. So if you're upside down, you tuck yourself in, tiny little package. You drop the left elbow through center, pivot the knees to the left, round in, maybe catch it, lift your head. 3, 2, 1. If the head is up, put it down, feet up, and then feet down. Inhale to lengthen. Catch your waist. Stand up. Parvrita Trikonasana, square the hips. So this is very important. The tendency in most students is to drop a hip. So as you reach forward, stick your bum out and wide. Keep sticking it out and wide. Think Beyonce. And then take that left hand forward. Take it to your shin, your ankle, the pinky toe edge. Again, check in, widen the seat, stick your bum out, and then attempt to stack the right shoulder over top of the left shoulder and the left shoulder over the left wrist. Pull your belly back, eyes up. The eyes come down. This is a standing split for a moment. And then take the foot in the sky, the knee in the sky, and lower it to the pinky toe edge of your foot. Create a little bit of space and then lower your bottom. So for seated twist, it's a little bit different, but we'll find our way there. Spin the right hand behind the back, lean back, get the tissue of the breast, the tissue of the belly out of the way. Catch your left hand behind your head and then crunch like a little crunching oblique exercise. Catch it nice and low on the deltoid on the back of the arm, and then maybe thread the arm through to catch a bind. If the hand is on the earth, that's fine. Now set your pelvis. Stick your bum back. Pull your lower belly in, and then use your left hand to roll your shoulder open. Belly back, bum out, rotate the upper heart. 3, 2, 1. The eyes come forward, untangle. We'll come back the way we were for a standing split. And then transition to airplane. We've been here before. And then twisted big toe, pull your back knee forward, take the knee or the edge of the foot, roll it open. Take your bum wide, take your attention to your hips. So just like cat-cow, you're cowing your bum. I'm pretty sure that's cow or that's cat. No, that's cow. So you're cowing your hips. There must be a better way to say that. The eyes come through center, hands down. This is again a standing split or a handstand hop to vinyasa back, low push-up. Ride the inhale, ride the exhale. So take it or leave this next part. Sit back on the knees. You might work a regular headstand, but I'm going to cue you through a twisted one. So if you take your eyes to me, you'll take your right hand like chaturanga. You'll take your left arm out to the side. You'll come up. You'll split the right chaturanga arm foot forward and then pivot so the foot tracks the ankle or tracks the wrist bone. So yogi's choice. But now the head becomes the sacrum. So if a regular headstand is in your best interest, do that. So what I mean by that is your head has to be symmetric because that is now your base. So a vritti is a fluctuation. It means it pulls us off track. Twisted poses are so hard because they could easily pull us over. A revolution that spins us. Beautiful, and then you could come down and switch sides or take rest. So again, this time it would be the left arm in chaturanga, right arm out to the side, left leg split. Pull your left ankle to track the right wrist, head anchored down, a symmetric head and a symmetric neck. Zipper your way all the way through center. Beautiful. Sit back. Balasana, child's, rest your head. When the body, the brain, the mind is in the same place at the same time, we're doing yoga. Inhale, all fours. Downward dog, strike back. Lift your left leg up. Left knee taps the left armpit, froggy the foot. Reach it up. Point the foot, cross it over. Send it to the sky. Stomp it between your hands and drop your back knee. Reach the right arm up, take the right hand behind the head, crunch like an oblique twist, and you'll notice you're going to pull that knee a little bit through center to catch the back of the shoulder. Some of you might open, some of you might bind. Biggest thing, widen your seat. Stick your bum out. Cow the low back, so stick your bottom out till your knee presses into your arm. Give me so much power. The eyes come down. It's Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. This time, if you'd like to bind, take a bind. And super gently step it open for Trikonasana, arms float. Bottom slides back, left fingertips down, maybe to a block, maybe to the toe. So sometimes for me, there's a disconnect in my low belly here. So if you're anything like me, begin to hollow it back. Start to play with the side of the left hip. Tuck it under. The eyes come down, the hands come down, walk it through center for Prasarita A. One more time for side crow if you wish, but not necessary. Head down. If you felt comfortable and you lifted up, you could lift up. And if you're still with me, you're gonna tuck the knees in. Remember, it's the right elbow that's gonna catch. Drop the right elbow, roll the knees to the right, catch your side crow, stick your bum out to equalize the sacrum, eyes down. 3, 2, 1. Lower your head, inflate up, release your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Catch the waist, stand up. Pivot yourself to face forward. Again, we're gonna isolate the hips. So widen your bum, seriously, stick your bum out, activate the outer hips, reach your right arm forward, take it to a block, the floor, and then stack your right shoulder over your right wrist. It's an internally rotated arm bone. Stack the shoulders, roll it open. Roll it open. So continue to contemplate your right outer hip. Lift it up. The eyes come down, the hands come down. It's a standing split. For Ardha Matsyendrasana, take the leg in the sky and lower your knee to the pinky toe edge. Create some space and lower your bottom. Reach your left hand behind your back. Take your boobs back, take your belly back, reach it up. But again, this is a crunch. So crunch to get low on the thigh. And some of you might bind. So we will look at Marichiyasana D today. And this is kind of the same concept. Now stick your bottom out, cow the low back. There must be a nicer way to say that. I'm not calling you cows. And then the heart is lifted, ears back. Eyes are the final element of your twist. So they say twists are like wringing out an old rag, removing toxins from our organs. A student of mine is a doctor. She's like, no, that doesn't happen. And I'm like, yeah, no, it does. She's like, no, it doesn't. But I said, agree to disagree. The eyes come forward, untangle, standing split. Super gracefully, we've been here before. Now square the hips, arms by the side. And pull the right knee forward. Take the knee or the edge of the foot, roll it open. Spin. 3, 2, widen your hips. 1, this time eyes forward, step your feet down, Samastiti. Half bound standing lotus on the right leg. Take your left leg up. Some of us will plant the foot on the thigh, Vrikshasana tree. Some of us will take our foot to our groin, catch the foot and bow. If you're working some type of handstand lotus, you could do that. So I want to introduce half lotus because we're going to start to build with it, add on. Go, E, go, E. For lotus people, could you drop the meat of your rib basket? The meat of the tissue in the breast, in the heart, in the lungs? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rise all the way up, release your shape. Other side, half-bound lotus or tree, cross it up and over. Reach and maybe catch the foot and maybe fold. Clear the abdomen. So much like our twist, the more nollie, the more drawn back, the more freedom there is, but also then you're gonna get pressure on the organs from your heel, which I really like for you. Inhale to lengthen. Rise all the way up. Release the shape, Samastitihi. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen for Kakasana, crane pose. So let's tuck our knees into our armpits and keep our arms straight. So tuck your knees and get them into your armpits. I hope there's a bit of residue sweat. Fan your fingers a little bit out to the top of your mat. Lean forward, straight arms, shoulders over those wrists, straight arms. 3, straight arms. 2, 1, float back, lower. Drag your pelvis to your wrists, look up. Slide back. Drop down onto the knees, Virasana, Hero's Pose. We're gonna take some back bends and clear with twists. Move the meat, sit. You might like a block under your bottom. Close your eyes. Feel the oceanic quality of your breath. So they say that the solar plexus, our sense of self-esteem and honoring ourselves, sits in our tummy. And how we start to flex, build the muscle of esteem and confidence is making promises to ourselves and keeping them. Okay, I'm gonna sit for 5 minutes a day. You might stay where you are, you might start to descend back. So this is a really big piece of back bending because you're beginning to feel that the toenail side of the foot, by hooking the toenails into your mat, you could get longer through the front line. Self-esteem means I do not outsource my aesthetic, my belief of beauty to anyone on Instagram, to anyone other than my own self. To thy own self be true. But the world is wild and we kind of forget our own sense of beauty. Rising all the way up. And then striking back, meeting me in a high plank and clear the knees. So these are some back bends from second. Come down onto the belly. Bakasana frog, basically the exact same thing. Feet flop, catch the feet. Flip the fingers so they line the toes and then put so much pressure on the feet that the knees and the hips lift. Elbows nice and tight. And release cheek to one side unless you want to rise up, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Come forward onto the belly for Dhanurasana. Bending the knees, catch your ankles. Link your knees together, your big toes together, kick up, flex your glutes. Lift up nice and high. These legs take you up mountains, they pedal bikes. They've got a lot of power, so a tug of war between the legs and the arms. And release, cheek to one side, or a chaturanga, an up dog, a down dog. Shift it forward onto the belly, Parsvadanyarasana. Catch a hold of the ankles, come up. Rock over, right shoulder, right hip. Link your knees together, link your big toes together, ears back. And all the way up and all the way over, opposite side. Link the knees, kick back, ears back. 3. More leg. 2. 1. Come all the way up and release. It's a vinyasa or a downward dog. So before we move into Ustrasana and those postures, let's take an asymmetric pigeon posture. Reach the right leg up. Sweep it through, lower the shin. So I want to offer this with a bind. Take the right knee out to the side and then drop down onto your left forearm. Reach your right arm up and then palm faces out. See if you could catch a hold of that bent knee's foot. And for some of you, this little twisted pigeon will be perfect. Some of you might want to bend the back leg, come upright, catch a bind, maybe even a king bind with your left leg. So it's a Dhanurasana foot, you know? They're all kind of the same thing. If you have the foot, release it. One-legged crow vinyasa or a step back. So shorten the distance. Remember our setup. So take our right leg into crow and fan the right hand to the upper corner of the mat. Your left hand is kind of leveraging you, leaning you heavier to the right. And then step walk, float back, lower. Drag it up, heart open. Slide it back. Reach your left leg up. Pull it through and lower the knee for a bound, whatever this is called, pigeon. Lean over on the right forearm. Take your left hand behind your back, maybe catch it. Maybe that's as far as we want to go. Some of you might like to sit up, scissor the thigh, and then reach up, catch the ankle, kick back. Tell me about Mula Bandha. Tell me about the lift in the pelvic floor and the asymmetric ability in the hips. Tell me about your face. Releasing the shape. It's a one-legged crow vinyasa or a step back down dog. So again, set yourself up. Maybe leverage it, pick it up for flight, float back, ride it up. Good, Eva. Strike back, down dog. Ha, take a beat. Ready, drop down onto the knees, Ustrasana, camel. And I'll cue Legu Vidrasana from the bottom to the top next, but first camel. Feel the tops of the toes down into the floor. Take the chest, pelvis forward. Eyes up, maybe you catch your heels. Zipper the inner thighs together. Imagine there's a dagger just behind your heart and you're pushing your heart up because you don't want to get punctured. And all the way up. Option 1, vinyasa. Option 2, hero. So Legu Vajrasana from the floor up. If you know it from the top to the bottom, do that. Otherwise, you can take your eyes to me. So here I am in hero. I'm going to go to sleeping hero. Then tenting the fingers, lifting my hips. Walk the hands and tent them, lift the hips. And then reach behind my knees to balance. Yogi's choice. Legu Vajrasana or repeat Ustrasana. Pelvis up, pelvis up, pelvis up. Beautiful. 3. Beautiful. 2. Yes. Oh, yes, Basti. 1. All the way up. Maybe this is a vinyasa. Maybe this is just a moment to relax. So when we build on that for capo, you could do it the exact same way, but you would drop down onto your elbows and catch your toes. So last one, Ustrasana, Legu Vajrasana, or Kapotasana. Top to bottom, bottom to top, you decide. Let's go open. Nice, all the way up. This is a vinyasa, float back, lower. Stretch your belly, lift your heart. Downward dog. Eyes forward through to a seat for Bharadvadrasana. So this is a twist, but an interesting twist because the pelvis is kind of floppy. Take your right leg, tuck it back. Your left leg either comes up half lotus or it touches your thigh. As the knee falls, the right hip lifts. Take your right hand to your left knee, spin your hand, or lotus people, catch your lotus toe. So that's just like pigeon. Remember how we bound in pigeon? If you were able to catch the foot, beautiful. If you're still with me, take your hand, flip your palm, your fingers track your lower leg bones. Yeah, Jazz, exactly. So for this twist, it's okay if the sacrum is not level. We can kind of initiate the twist from flexing your right glute. Releasing this pose, so coming into Marichyasana B, so the leg remains in half lotus or untangle it and step your right foot forward. Reach your right arm out in front and see if you could catch your t-shirt, your tank top, or your hands. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart. Untangle the shape. It's a vinyasa or a dandasana. So the legs could extend. We could pick it up and float. Bharadvadrasana, other side. So these are from second. Take your left foot, tuck it back. Take your right foot, cross it over or up. Drop your knee. You might reach behind the back, catch the toe. You might thread your hands so your fingers track your lower leg bone. So the solar plexus, the belly center, draw it back, spin. Just like we would sculpt our booty, sculpt our abdomen, we want to sculpt our sense of self. Our pride, our ability to trust what we say. Untangle, come through center, Marichi B, step your foot forward. Reach that left arm out in front. Maybe we bind with a strap. Maybe we catch our shirts and fold. Rising all the way up, release the shape. Let's all take a vinyasa for one more side hand balance and a couple more twists. Again, take it or leave it. Paw your hands back to your feet. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. It's side crow but with legs fanned, so Kundinasana B, knees drop. Spin them to the left. So I want an asymmetric chest. I want a symmetric chest and hips. It's like twisted triangle. Catch your right knee on your left arm. Lift up. Widen your thighs. 3. Point your toes. 2. 1. Release your flight. Knees through center. Pivot. Snuggle. Pick it up. Maybe the legs lift and extend. 3, 2, 1. Release the flight, knees through center. A little malasana. Okay. Option to enter that from headstand, or you might play with crow to headstand to crow, or you might just work malasana. So we'll say 2 breaths each side. So if you want to work from headstand, lower the head, and maybe nothing happens. You don't have to lift up. Take a split right leg forward. Take your right foot to face the left. Drop the left elbow in. Catch below the knee. Pick up. 2, 1. Draw the head back to the ground. Legs up. Split, twist, maybe catch, pick up. 2, 1. Windmill your head to the floor, legs up. Wherever you are, a little tiny squat. Pivot your knees to face forward. Take your hands and put them under your feet. Lengthen. That part's dead, it's gone. Spine falls. Clear the abdomen. Inhale to lengthen. Release the hands from the feet, walk forward, down dog, and meet me in a seat for 2 more seated twists. Marichyasana C and D. We'll start with C. So take the right leg, fold it in. A little trick of the trade is that it's pigeon-toed so that it's easier to bind around. Take the right hand behind the back. Drop the knee through center, reach your left arm up. See if you could catch in the armpit, maybe bind or just press the elbow into the knee and spin. Eyes through center, release the shape. It's a vinyasa or a dandasana. Float back or bow in. A little check-in. How's my stamina? How's my attention? Other side, left leg in, pigeon toe. Drop the knee through center. Beautiful. Hook your elbow. Snuggle in tight. Revolve the chest. So sacrum, what's happening in the pelvis? Draw the left hip to the left heel, spin it open. 3, 2, 1. The eyes come forward, untangle. Vinyasa or Dandasana, 1 more seated pose. Marichi D, or we can repeat C. So with D, take your left leg half lotus or tuck it under. Half lotus people, you'll lift your hip up and fold the right leg in. You'll walk the right foot a little to the left. Get your foot out of the way, reach the right hand behind the back, and then maybe the hand is your leverage point, or we bind. Eyes through center, release the shape, looking good, vinyasa or dandasana, almost there. Marichi D. Take the left leg, tuck it in, half lotus, sorry, right leg, half lotus or in. Fold the left knee, walk the left foot through center, get the tissue of the breast, the belly out of the way, hook the meat of the bingo wings, really, and then catch a bind, roll it open. Yeah, very nice. 3, 2, 1. The eyes come forward. Untangle vinyasa and meet me on your back or no vinyasa. Beautiful work. Okay, on your back. So notice your body language, notice your attention to detail. It might seem like it doesn't matter, but it's super important right now. So this first back bend is in honor of the klesha of avidya, which means an inability to see. Push the floor away, go up. Not seeing clearly. And come all the way down. This second one is for the klesha of asmita, which is the ego that says I am. I am hungry, I am wounded, I am sad, I am a yoga teacher. Push the floor away, go up. So there's nothing wrong with that, but yoga's about dropping the identity. Because we don't need that label, right? We would need it at a dinner party to sound cool, but really, we don't need that. And all the way down. Take a beat. This next one is for the klesha of aversion. Push the floor away, go up. An avoidance of anything that we don't like. So it could be conflict, could be back bends, could be core work, could be the weird twisted poses. And come all the way down. This next one is for addiction, raga, which is like the color red. I want more of that. I want more accolades. I want more coffee. I want more of the things that like just really give me boosts. Go up. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1, come down. Last one, abhinivesa, which is fear for our lives. It is the love of living. Push the floor away, go up. And come all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Put your hand on your belly. Close your eyes. The idea that we practice yoga to get to know ourselves better, and we do it with enthusiasm, is how we cut through the kleshas, the things that keep us separate in illusion.
I think I told upstairs.
Intertwine your fingers behind your head, lift and lower. So 20 little crunches, and this is primarily rectus abdominis. Pulling the spine back through neutral. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, draw the legs to the sky. Last little set, 10 leg lifts. Lower and lift, 10. Feel the back of the head press firmly into the floor. Feel this space between your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your knees to your belly. Extending the arms out wide, let the knees fall to the left, eyes to the right. Bring the eyes through center, bring the knees through center, let them fall, eyes over the other shoulder. So the inversion of your choice, draw those knees through center. Option 1, legs up, Viparita Karani. Option 2, shoulder stand. Option 3, headstand. So I'll give you about 2 minutes to take the shape that you want. You could take handstand if that's a better option. You could take a hip opener if that's a better option. Do it again, E, it looked rad. 1 more minute. So whatever your choice is, if you want to start to play with the legs, play with the legs. Beautiful. Vasti, tone the glutes, looking good, Jen. Beautiful, Eliza. Twenty more seconds. And come all the way down, sit back, child's pose. Take an inhale. One more. Let it settle. And then taking a vinyasa, and meet me in a seat for our last 3 postures. So they're done in a cross-legged position, a half lotus shape, a full Padmasana. Nicely done, Eva. And option 1, the hands come behind the back to catch opposite elbows. If you are so lucky that you could catch your toes, I shouldn't say lucky if you've done this pose a lot and you've suffered through achy knees and you can catch the toes, do that. Fold in. Rising all the way up to extend the arms, the thumb, the first finger touch, back of the neck is long. Pull the abdomen back, soften the shoulders. See if you could get long through the low back. Think angry cat in the low back. And then pressing the palms down into the earth, Utthita Plitihi, lift it up, 10. Like we could rip our mat apart, 8. Lift up higher, higher, higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your bottom, take a vinyasa, and meet me on your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. Well deserved. So as we've seen over the course of the time we've spent together, you've likely started to play with some different shapes and you're building trust. Trust in this physical body, trust that when we practice something, it works. Let everything go. No more control, no more grip. To build self-trust and confidence is to show up when we feel good, when we feel bad, when we feel happy or sad. To practice, to make these promises to ourselves and keep them. If you're going to sit for 5 minutes a day, then keep your commitment. Every time we fall off the wagon, we just provide more information that we cannot trust ourselves. Take a deep inhale. One more big inhale. Bring some movement to your fingers, bring some movement to your toes. And stretch your arms long overhead, point your toes, big full body stretch. And then tuck your knees to your belly to roll to the right. And come to a seat.